Salamun alaykum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bari'il khalaiq ajma'een. Wassalatu wassalam wattahiyyatu wal ikram ala nabiyyil ummiyyil makkiyyil madaniyyil qarashiyyil hashimiyyil الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين سيما بقية الله الأعظم روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء أما بعد فقد قال أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب عليهما السلام أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله واتباع أمره ونهيه. First of all, I recommend myself and all of you to practice piety, especially in the month of Ramadan, specifically while we are in the state of fasting. Being in the state of fasting itself encourages us to promote our spirituality. And today is the 17th of the month, and our spirituality by observing fast these days is in a peak. And definitely our brothers and sisters across the globe, particularly in our region, enjoying being in the month of Ramadan, being the guest of our Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator. And now it's easy for us to digest something high, something spiritual, something beneficial for ourselves and for our coming generations. In fact, there are many traditions which says that al-ilmu fil ju', the knowledge is in hunger. While you are empty stomach, while you are abstain from lavishness, drinks and eat, you are more prepared to digest the knowledge and spirituality. Islamically, sitting on a lavish food table is makruh, is dislike. Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, one of our teachers, he was mentioning that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, listen this carefully, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to insult someone, He prepare the lavish food table for him. It means the mu'min, the true believer, is not going after lavishness. Being simple is better. Yes, we need to fulfill our needs. There is no question about it. But wants, you cannot fulfill it. So there is a huge difference between needs and wants. Today I want to speak about the lifestyle of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. I'm sure that we cannot justify with the topic within the short span of time, and I would like to inform you that inshallah we want to continue the topic in coming days because we are approaching the martyrdom of the anniversary of the martyrdom of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam, strike on 21st of Ramadan, 19th of Ramadan, and he achieved martyrdom on 21st of Ramadan. So we commemorate and we mourn. Using this opportunity, we want to discuss a part and a gist of the lifestyle of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. Not just to increase our knowledge, rather to remind ourselves who we are associate with, and probably and definitely it increases our responsibility. Being associated with personalities like Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam carries responsibility. I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us strength and tawfiq to understand our responsibility and sense our responsibility, and inshallah fulfill it. First and foremost thing I want to mention that these great personalities, we have no copyright upon them. As our Quran, our holy book, is Hudan Linnas, the guidance for entire human being, irrespective of caste and creed and race and gender and region. It is for entire human being from the beginning until the day of judgment. Anywhere, any race, any caste, any creed, any language, any region, any part of the world. So we need to remove the sectarian mentality for a while to understand what I want to mention here. Is that normally it has been seen that we say in our conversation that our Imam Ali. There is two things here. We need to distinguish between these two things. One, is Imam Ali or personalities like him, our noble prophet and other Imams and even our Maraji and great ulamas, belongs to us or we belongs to them? This has to be clarified. Or they belongs to us or we belongs to them. So this, if we distinguish between these two things, it's easy to understand what I want to mention here. I said we have no copyright on Quran, our noble prophet and our Imams and even our great personalities. What I mean that we cannot deny others to make use of the resources available. Resources, I mean the Quran, the lifestyle of our noble prophet and lifestyle of our great personalities like Imams. This information has to be provided for everyone. For a while we need to remove the narrow mentality that they are belongs to us. No, they are not belongs to us. They are for everyone. Hudan linnas, kafatan linnas, bashiran wa nadhira. As Quran is for everyone, as our noble prophet is for everyone, our Imams are also for everyone. Whoever tried to perform in a way that they are getting closer to their lifestyles, they are belongs to them. Sometimes I see some qualities in our non-Muslim brothers and sisters which hardly you will find in our Muslim brothers and sisters. Sometimes It's not a formula. It means that what God Almighty, what our religion, what Quran, what our great personalities, what our noble prophet, what Imams look for is our attitude and our conduct and our behavior, not our title, not our the mindset, not our what you call is we are belongs to the Shia, we are belongs to Muslim. This is not something important in their point of view. What they look is our conduct, our character, our behavior. Of course, innama yataqabbalallahu minal muttaqin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our deeds from muttaqin. You need to be submit totally to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so your actions being accepted. Iman is the condition. That's a different issue. But we cannot confine these resources like Quran, our noble prophet, Imams, within our community, within our Muslim Ummah, because we are belongs to them. There is no doubt. But they are not belongs to us. They are not only belongs to us, they are for everyone. Anyone who want to benefit from them, anyone who want to seek the guidance, they are there for them. So first and foremost thing I want to mention that we need to open up the channel. We need to broaden the mentality and provide the opportunity for everyone to benefit from the resources available with us. To no copyright in Quran, no copyright about our noble prophet, no copyright about our Imams. They are for everyone. They are the Imams for everyone. The other thing I want to mention here is, if we see, for instance, some sort of hatred about Islam, some sort of hatred about Quran, or some sort of hatred about our Imams, it's because of many factors, and one of those very important factor is, as defined and explained by Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam himself in Nahjul Balagha, that annasu a'da'u ma jahiluh. People are hateful of what they don't know. There is a many misinformation out there, and unfortunately it is created by social media or mainstream media, and the bad elements to create some sort of hatred about the Quran and our noble prophet and Imams, out of fear that if people are aware about these great resources, they may rush towards it, they may adopt and they may accept it, they may embrace it. As Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam mentioned beautifully, that if our mahasina kalam, if our beauty of our teachings, if the beauty of our teachings reaches to the people whose hearts are soft, you will see them embracing it. You will see them adopting it. So, what we need to do as a Muslim, as a follower of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, that we need to provide the opportunity for everyone and reduce the misunderstanding or eliminate the misunderstanding about these great personalities, and we need to focus on that. There is no copyright on them, and these resources are available for everyone. Anyone can benefit from it. So removing the jahala and ignorance from the minds of masses is one of the great responsibilities we are carrying upon our shoulders. Let people enjoy the teachings of Quran. Let people enjoy the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Let people enjoy benefiting from the lifestyles of our noble Prophet and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Coming back to our topic, the lifestyle of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam is something very important and crucial for today's society. We are going through with many challenges in present days. And if our brothers and sisters across the globe, brothers in humanity, they come to the teachings which is available in Quran and lifestyle of our noble Prophet and lifestyle of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, they can resolve many problems which are existed. Let me point on one of the very important challenges we are facing. One of the things which we see vitally discussed in Quran, and we will find in the lifestyle of our noble Prophet and Imams, particularly Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, that they are focusing on social justice, which is really lacking in present days. And maybe the present pandemic we are going through, the present challenges we are going through, is the effect of not adhering to the social justice. And this pandemic want to teach us that as long as we are together, as long as we are maintaining the social justice, which is so important in human being, it doesn't recognize us any religion or caste or region or race. Social justice is above all these mindsets and above all these things. Humanity is something very important, and it is focused in Quran. While if you are trying to help someone, you're not supposed to look on the race, the language, the caste, creed, religion. These are the secondary. The humanity is something more important while we are dealing with social justice. And majority of the problems we are facing in our societies nowadays is because of the lacking of social justice. In Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, as defined in many books, even the non-Muslim writers like George Jordak from Lebanon, who was the Christian scholar, he wrote many books about Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, and one of the famous book he wrote, that the Sawtul Adalatil Insaniya. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam is the voice of social justice, the human justice. And he was the embodiment of human justice. If we look on the history, particularly while he was the Khalif of the time, for 4 years and few months, during that period, the way he demonstrated in the society attracted the minds of everyone. Even today, I want to mention this very important point, that it was a discussion in the Parliament of Islamic Republic of Iran quite a couple of years back, while I was a student there. Government of Iran is heavily subsidizing on the bread. Like they purchase the wheat from the farmers in a high price so they can grow, they can encourage, and they give to the bakers highly subsidized so they can produce the bread in a cheaper rate. And it was because of bread being very cheap in Iran. Those who visited and those who know, they know what I'm talking about. Even if you go for a naan, what they call the bread is a sangak. It's a very nice bread, which one bread can be more than sufficient for one person. If you go there, if you don't have change or if you don't have money, if you ask, they will give you because it's very cheap. Less, it's a couple cents. It was discussion in the parliament that because of bread being very cheap, people are wasting the bread. There is one of the business over there is collecting the extra dry bread so they can feed the animals. They waste too much because of being very cheap. They buy and they eat what they want, and then the rest they will put it in separate basket to disperse to these people who take it for the animals. It was a discussion in the parliament that why we are subsidizing on bread heavily, having burden on the budget in the government, while our people are wasting it. So it was one of the proposals there that we have to remove this subsidy from the bread so people can pay extra so they don't waste it. So once you pay extra, once you pay the value, you don't waste it. After hours of discussion, they came to one very important conclusion. In that conclusion, it was mentioned that in the Islamic government, it is not allowed for the government and the people who are in a ruling position to sleep at night while they are not sure that all of our citizens have something to eat and no one is suffering from hunger. I hope I'm able to pass this message. What I intend is that it was conclusion in the parliament that it is not allowed, it is haram for ruling people in the Islamic government, for the government in Islamic government to sleep at night without making sure that every one of our citizens are having something to eat and no one is suffering from hunger. So they passed that no, we cannot remove the subsidy from the bread to make sure that everyone in our country will eat and they have something on the table and they are not going to sleep hungry. And still you see that the rate, the cost of the bread, the rate is very cheap. And even you can go there to the baker and you can ask for the bread and they will give you without any hesitation, because it's not a burden giving bread free. We can understand this very important law which is passed in the parliament, and very beautiful discussion taken from where? Taken from the government of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, the principle he established. If you check the politicians nowadays across the globe, they, in their manifesto of their elections, they normally talk about the shelter, food and clothing. So we want to provide shelter, food and clothing. And until now, they were not able to fulfill these three basic needs, even in the highly advanced countries. In rich countries also, we are facing these challenges, that there are many who sleep without having anything. We are not able to eradicate the hunger and poverty. And unfortunately, day by day, the gap between 1% of rich and 99% of poor is increasing. The gap between the rich and poor is increasing day by day. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, in the end days of his government, he gathered all the people of the Kufa in one place, and he stood and he delivered a beautiful sermon talking about different issues. And one of the issues he raised, which I want to focus, that he said that any one of you, he was asking the masses, any one of you have any complaint that they have no food on their table? Everyone raised their hands and they said, no, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. And again he asked the question that any one of you in my government had any lacking of clothing? Everyone raised their hands and they said, no, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. And again he asked, any one of you in my government has any lacking in shelter? Everyone raised their hand and they said, no, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. It is in the 1400 years back, in the society in like Kufa, the 4 years and few months of government of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam was facing many challenges, and one of those were the 3 civil wars: the war of Jamal, the war of Siffin, and the battle of Nahrawan. Despite of 3 major battles, the civil wars, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam was able to face this challenge and fulfill the needs, the basic needs of humanity at that time. And he was referring to the minorities, the Christians and the Jews who were living there under his government. And he was asking, if you have any complaint to raise, this is the right time. And they said, no, we have no complaint against your government, O Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. And just I want to ask a question, my dear brothers and sisters. Do you find any government, despite of all development and despite of all facilities and means we have at present era, do you find any government in the globe who can come and stand and say that to their own citizens, that is there any person who is hungry? Is there any person who is without shelter? Is there any person without clothing? And get the reply that no, hardly you will find. So our human being today, our societies today, facing a bigger challenge, bigger than pandemic, bigger than any virus, any disease, that we are lacking the social justice. Especially what we're hearing from India nowadays, that we have to pray for our brothers and sisters there, because this disease is not discriminating anyone, rich, poor, white, black, brown, Hindu, Muslim, Christian. It's not discriminating. The entire human being is facing this challenge. And we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove this pandemic from us and from entire human being. Particularly our brothers and sisters in India are suffering from. And the more than what the news we are receiving from there, the more than pandemic, the more than the disease itself, they are facing challenge of the lacking of the government intervention, proper supplies, and we had whole year to prepare. And India is not a small country. India is a big country with huge resources. And unfortunately, our government, our authorities over there are totally fail to deliver their responsibilities. And we hope that the NGOs, the organizations, and those who are eligible, those who are intend to serve the humanity, they intervene and they come forward and they try their best to they serve the people and humanity to come out of this challenge. And nowadays, and these things are increasing, and the situation in other parts of the world is not too good, and we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the strength to cope with this situation, and we have to beg and we have to seek, we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make dua that, oh Allah, grant us strength to cope with this situation and grant us tawfiq and strength to help each other in these difficult times. And we hope that we are trying our best to understand the lifestyle of Imam Ali, particularly concerning the social justice and fairness and justice is something, it's beyond the sectarian mentality, beyond the religion. It is something belongs to humanity. This is the need of humanity, and the reappearance of Imam Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif is heavily collaborated and attached to this social justice. And one of the major purpose and the goal of Imam to restore the justice among the humanity, as it is injustice is prevail right now, and people are dying and people are having thirst to have the justice among themselves. We hope that we can facilitate somehow the reappearance of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam by establishing the justice and social justice among ourselves. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi